Today in the garden, I'm going to show you how to store your begonias safely ready for next year. Begonias have these amazing flowers and work really well in pots and hanging baskets, but unfortunately, they are not frost-hardy plants at all. In fact, a little cold snap and that's the end of them. So how do we take care of them over winter? Well, there's a simple trick that we can use in order to keep these safe and stored without using much space. We're going to start off with getting these out the pot as best as we can. The roots we want to save, so we want to effectively turn this upside down over a bucket and hopefully, it should come out. And luckily, I've managed to get one free. So all I want to do is take away this compost and release all of those roots. Once you've rinsed off and cleaned the roots, leave it to dry a little bit and then focus on cutting away any of the stems with the flowers on. Now, you don't have to do this right now. You can leave it a little bit longer, but ideally, you want to get it before the frost. And you want to leave the main stems as much as possible because the next step is about getting rid of the moisture in the plant and keeping this nice and dry without stressing it out. So let's get those flowers gone. The cut flowers can go in the compost heap and they're packed full of potassium, so they're quite handy to have. And you should end up with 3 pretty sad looking begonias with about 2 or 3 stems on them. And what we want to do now is focus on drying them off. So I like to use a little bit of gardening wire and just lightly twist around them, not too much, and hang them upside down. Do it in unison so you've almost got like a string of begonias and hang them in a porch or in a greenhouse or in a shed where they'll dry for about 2-3 days. Hanging them upside down in a dry area will force the moisture down and stop them from going rotten. It'll also help them stay dormant, especially when we store them, which will just be in a cardboard box with a little bit of sawdust or just some newspaper around it to allow air to flow through so it doesn't go too moist and go moldy. And that's pretty much it. You'll be able to leave these dormant until springtime. Ideally, you don't want these to dry out too much. So if you do see they're starting to get a little bit crisp in the box, you can spray a little spritz of water just every couple of weeks or so. And if you're wondering if it works, well, these are actually my second year begonias, which until I recently decimated them, looked absolutely fantastic. So you can store your begonias over winter, ready for next year. It really is that simple. Take care.